my name is Olivier Mankondo, and today I'm going to talk to you about an important subject, which is hair. Basically, people think that hair is not really important, and basically they do whatever they want with their hair. They think it's just a matter of fashion, and they can do whatever they want. But the picture is totally different, and as you can see, in long time ago, in lots of cultures, people were keeping their hair because it was part of who they were. So there were no salon, there were no barber shop and stuff like that. People kept their hair and they were growing that until they will attain the full length. People only had their hair cut when they were conquered by another group of people or by another civilization or whatever, and at that time they were having a haircut, and basically that was a sign of slavery, a sign of inferiority, and basically that's when people were having their haircut. But as a normal part of their life, they didn't cut their hair because, like I've just said, it was part of who they were. So basically it was like a punishment when they were enslaved, and that were a sign of inferiority. But what is hair? Hair is an extension of your nervous system. I repeat, hair is an extension of your nervous system. Hair is a highly evolved antenna. It transmits a vast amount of information to your brain, to your limbic system, and to your neocortex. And and the limbic system deals with emotions, memory, and stimulation, and the neocortex deals with sensory perception. So you can see that your hair transmits vast information to this system. So basically the limbic system, the brain, and the neocortex. So hair is very important. Hair also transmits energy into the outer environment. When hair is cut, basically when hair is cut, sending and receiving transmission is very ampered, is greatly ampered. So when you transmit and receive information, it will be greatly reduced because of that. And when your hair is cut, you become less aware of the environmental distress, like when for example, the deforestation, the pollution and stuff like that. You become less aware of things like that because of your haircut. And when your hair is cut, you become less sensitive in any kind of relationship. So hair again is very important. And when I'm saying that hair is a highly evolved antenna, you can see the similarity of the whiskers in animals. The whiskers are sensory organs in whisker is sensory organ in animals. You can see that for yourself. So hair is antenna that gather and channels the sun energy. We need the sun energy to be able to live on this planet, and like I've just said, the hair gathers and channels the sun's energy. And hair increases vitality, intuition, and tranquility. And why hair increase vitality? So basically, when you allowed your hair to grow to its full length, phosphorus, calcium, and vitamin D are all produced, and this creates more efficient memory. You will get a greater physical energy, you will have improved stamina and patience, and you will be protected against cancer, diabetes, stroke, and heart disease. And like I've just said as well, vitamin D control over 2,500 genes in our body. So with all that, you can see the importance of hair. Hair is not just a matter of fashion, but you can see with all I've just said, hair is very important, and especially when you let your hair attain its full length. So you can see that when hair is cut, you will lose that extra energy and nourishment. You and your body will have to produce more vital energy for your hair to grow all the time. And why hair increases intuition? As you can see for yourself, women are more intuitive than men, and you can see the difference. Usually women let their hair long compared to men, and hair is very important, and it has been demonstrated in the Vietnam War. You remember the Vietnam War with the American army. During the Vietnam War, some Indian trackers, when I'm talking about Indian, it's the Native American. They were enlisted in the in the US Army. And as soon as, because you know, Native American, they let their hair long, they don't cut their hair. So when they join the military, they receive the military haircut. And from that time, they could not longer access the sixth sense. The intuition was lost, and they couldn't read a subtle sign, as well as access the extrasensory perception. All were lost. And in the US Army, they was really baffled about it. That's why they got in touch with an institute, and this institute made a study about this. So the testing institute recruited more Native American in the US Army, and they let them keep their long hair and tested them on multiple areas. Then they would pair two men together who had scored the same sorry, who received the same score on the all tests. And then they would let one man keep his long hair, and they will cut the other one his hair. And the two men will retake the test, and time after time, the men with long hair kept making a high score on the test they were given, and time after time, the men with short hair kept failing the test in which it had previously make high score. So you can see that. So basically, to summarize, they will take two men. One will keep his hair long, and the other will have his hair cut. And time after time, when they were passing those tests, the men with long hair were passing this test with flying colors, and the men with short hair were failing the test that he scored. He passed with high score before. And what was a typical test? For example, the recruit were sleeping in the woods. An armed army would approach the sleeping man. The long-haired man is awakened out of his sleep by a strong sense of danger, and gets away before the enemy is close, long before any sound from approaching enemy are audible. So what it was, for example, they were sleeping in the wood, and during the sleep, the man with long hair will be awakened in his sleep by a great sense of danger, and he will leave the place before the enemy arrive. And when they were having their haircut, they couldn't sense the danger, and basically they were caught by the enemy. And that's what the test was about. And they tested them in multiple tests as well, but that was a typical test. And basically, this study by the US Army has never been made public. That when you keep your hair long, your sense of intuition will become very high. You will be able to have a sixth sense. And this study has never been made public. And why is that? Because basically the system wants to keep you enslaved, and that's why in any army you will never see a military with long hair, because basically when you've got short hair it's easy for you to be enslaved, for you to be docile, and stuff like that. And in our culture, men with long hair are usually ridiculed, and because of ignorance. But if you knew the benefit that people with long hair were getting, basically you wouldn't do things like that. And if we see in the Bible as well, we can see the story of Samson. Samson had long hair and he was very powerful, but as soon as he received a haircut, he was depleted of all his powers. And this is something that people should be aware of. So hair is very important. Long hair is very important because it gives you lots of powers and stuff like that. And as you see in the history as well, you will see lots of famous people had long hair because they knew the secret. And I will start with Jesus. If you look at Jesus, he had long hair, and this is not random. It knew the secret of having long hair. You look at Buddha, he had long hair. It's not random. They knew what they was doing. You look at Leonardo da Vinci, he was a great inventor, and he was known for all these things. And if you look at him, he had long hair. You look at Albert Einstein, he was known for the laws of relativity, and as you can see, he had long hair as well. You look at Isaac Newton, he was a great mathematician, and as you look at him, long hair as well, because all these things, when you've got long hair, you've got intuition, and like I said in the beginning, you can receive and emit transmission, and you can only have that when you've got a long hair. And you can see as well Plato, he was a great philosopher, he's got long hair, he had long hair. You can see William Shakespeare, he was a great playwright and a great English playwright, he had long hair. You can see Beethoven, a greatest in classical music, he's had long hair. You can see Galileo, he was an astronomer. If you look at him, he had long hair. You can see Thomas Jefferson, he was the third American president, and he was the forefather of all these things, and he had long hair. And as you can see as well, most of the yogis in India, in Asia, you can see they've got long hair. Look, all these people have they know, or they've known the benefit of having long hair, and this is not something that you should take lightly. And for myself, it's been nearly 2 years. I've not had a haircut, and I don't intend ever to have a haircut anymore. And like I said, whether or not you decide to grow your hair, at least when you see men with long hair, don't ridicule them, because they know what benefit they're getting from having long hair. I will stop my video here, and till next time, take care of yourself, and bye.